Welcome to another episode of TK Conversations. I, of course, am TK, and today joining us is JR Whitehead, better known as JR.The.Advisor.
Hey, thanks for having me, TK. Appreciate it.
You are welcome, and I appreciate you taking the time to come this distance to sit down with me just to have one of those interesting conversations that the world needs to be discussing. So I appreciate your time and
My
everything.
pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. So, first question I have for you, because I said better known as JR the Advisor, please tell me and our whole audience, what are you advising on?
I get that question a lot. I get that question a lot. So I'm a private insurance advisor for all insurance. Basically, I save people from the pain of ever having to shop for insurance again. Looking at auto, life, home, renters insurance, even pet insurance businesses. Pretty much a one-stop shop. And I represent the whole state of Arizona. So that's what I advise in. Yes,
That's a good one, and that's interesting. You said life. That one sticks out to me.
life insurance is critical.
And that's one that so many people are afraid of. I mean, we know that we're going to pass away, but that's that one that people just don't like touching. So I commend you even on offering that as well as pet insurance. It's so important.
Got to do pet insurance. And I just want to touch on this. You said that people are normally afraid to even touch on it. Even think about it. And I'm a firm believer in the more we start to accept our mortality,
Mhm.
normally it will help trigger awareness in the moment and for us to enjoy and embrace life more. Because it's like that thing. Hey, we know the game of life. This has been going on for billions of years, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
Right. So it's like, hey, the more we can accept that, first of all, it will help us embrace life in the moment a lot better. Still will be challenges always. And then when it comes to life insurance, we have auto insurance, we have insurance on our phones, we have insurance on all these things, and then it comes to the point like, hey, we don't have insurance for the ones that we love,
Mhm.
for our family. And it's not always about death. These life insurance policies, they have so many living benefits that a lot of us need. One is to be able to generate money within these policies, use it as a savings account, where you're able to earn compounding interest, instead of putting your money in a bank, put your money in a permanent life insurance policy, since we're all going to need it anyway to cover our entire lifestyle, but also be able to save money for any expenses in this policy, take loans from this money, so we can use it while we're living. And so there are so many benefits, but you open up the box, so I've jumped in. But anyway, yes.
No.
Well, thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for having me. Yes.
And that is perfect because that right there would automatically get people to reach out to you because it's life insurance. But we
Yes.
automatically think about it as death. And that's not what it's called. It's not death insurance,
It's
it is
life
life.
insurance.
Yes, for the living. And then it takes care of once you do pass away, but it's for the here and now. So I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, please share with all of us a way that anyone can contact you.
Well, I'm assuming you're going to probably tag me in this video somehow, some way. So the best way to
Absolutely.
follow me is just to click the tag somewhere in this video at JR.The.Advisor. I'll be there for you.
Perfect. Perfect. You'll be there ready to advise.
Yes, yes, yes.
That works. All right. So we are going to jump into today's topic.
Okay,
You
okay,
ready for this
okay.
one?
All right.
Okay. Now, the rule is it goes down whatever road that it goes down, because whatever road it takes is the road that is needed for this specific conversation.
All right. I
Okay.
got my seatbelt on.
Ready? And don't hold
Yes.
back, because I can
Okay.
tell if you're holding back. Don't hold back
Oh
on
man, this is serious.
it.
Yes.
All right. So today's topic is, and I'm going to read it so everyone will see it, even when you're looking at it on YouTube or when you're just listening to it on any streaming podcast app. The question is, Why do some individuals feel the need to diminish others in order to find their happiness or in order for them to be successful?
Mm, that's a good one. I mean, did y'all make lunch?
We can order some because, yes, it can take us a while for this one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, man. Wow. So now I'm only going to speak from my perspective.
Perfect.
You
That's
know,
exactly,
the
yes.
things that I've experienced personally, you know, because these are all real emotions, and we
Mhm,
all deal with this, all these real emotions all the time, you know. So
mhm,
I would say it's not the person that's being ridiculed or being looked down upon or whatever. It's more of the person who is doing it, you know. So if I'm feeling that way about somebody else, it's always some type of insecurity within myself, some type of unfulfillment within myself. And then, again, it has nothing to do about them. It's just like more like, wow, like basically you're jealous, you know, and you're
mhm.
jealous. So, you know, yeah, so I'll say it's a lot insecurity wrapped in a bit blanket of a few other things in there. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot.
Insecurity would be like number one slash two on my list. And I like the way you said it, wrapped in a several other things, because I would look at insecurity, I would look at confidence, and high on that list would be fear, because fear is what's creating the insecurity
Mm,
and the confidence issue. So if we start with fear, the way I look at fear is well, I'm gonna say insecurity. Let's start with insecurity since that's the one you started with, and then I'll dive into fear.
okay.
But insecurity comes from within. And you said that at the beginning. It has nothing to do with the person that they're putting down. It's them and what the issues that they are going through.
Hmm.
So, if we were to say insecurity and what's inside of them and the emotions that they are having, there's a root cause behind that specific behavior of putting another individual down just for them to feel happy.
Mm,
And I'm only starting with that. I ain't even going into the career situation because that's
yeah.
another one
Yeah.
for us. But I want to say that and get your thoughts on that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you off the top. You know, it's definitely fear. You know, it's again, it's just wrapped up into so many things, but it's definitely fear. Um, it's like it's crazy because it's like we know what we need to do, um, and for whatever reasons that we want to come up with, we don't do them. And when somebody else, maybe with the same exact abilities,
Mhm.
um, but their work ethic is so incredible that they're able to execute and achieve whatever that goal is. And then here we are mad at them because we're like, oh, we could have did that better, or we could have
Mhm.
did, we could have did, but you know, we didn't have the work ethic to accomplish it, and we kind of like, wow, it's a little jelly, a little jelly. Like, man,
Mhm.
we didn't get it done.
So it's kind of like that individual mirroring back at them what they could have done. Instead of seeing that as a prime example and an image of themselves, what you said, they become jealous and they start talking about that individual where the ego really should be telling them, get yourself together.
Yeah.
You be consistent, you move forward. Because a lot of times, and this is where fear comes up and we don't recognize it, fear is basically the ego telling us, hey, we got to protect ourselves.
Hmm.
So we naturally procrastinate or do not move. And that's just a symptom. It's not really the cause of why you're not moving. Generally, if we say the cause of a person not taking action to be exactly who they want to be or attempt for that promotion or whatever may be going on, it's going to be one of those things of the fear of rejection,
Mhm.
the fear of not being able to do the job if they get the job. So the fear of success. And there's a lot more that could go into that. But when we dig deep, it's what is it that they are afraid of that stops them from moving forward?
Mm. I may have to order dinner too.
Okay. Lunch and dinner. It is. We can do that.
Man, that is the question. That is the riddle.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, and that's one that I personally always search for. Because I can sit back and be like, you know, I know all my abilities. You know,
Mm-hmm.
creating a vision is the first part. Creating the vision, creating the feeling. So I know I can accomplish it.
Mm-hmm.
Then having this fear within us, and we're trying to figure out what's stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping me from consistently executing the plan. Why am I allowing whatever to knock me off? It's one, and it's a crazy experience. Because one part, throughout my life, I wasn't like always in full awareness, right? But I'm
Mm-hmm.
accomplishing things. I'm like, wow, this is great now, to the point where I'm in awareness. I'm like, wow, okay, this is the goal. I know I can do it. And then in awareness, I can be procrastinating in awareness. Like, I know I'm procrastinating right now. Like, I know. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I know I'm procrastinating right now in awareness, and be like, and I know that this is going to alter this
Yes.
goal, but still in awareness,
Mm-hmm.
understanding that I am procrastinating right now, and then also it's like, you can go to a point of, you start to look for distractions
Mm-hmm.
to distract you from the work that you need to do. So it's like, so that point is like, it's so much wrapped in that, because it's like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Like, what's the root of it? And it can be fear of success. I mean, it could be fear of success. It could be fear of work. It could just be that laziness. It could just be
Yes.
just flat out laziness, and sometimes feeling good. I like chilling. So
Yes.
it's so many different things that it can be for all of us. And it could be multiple roots sometimes. It could be a whole bunch of roots. And that's where it comes back to the first step of accepting our mortality.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a sitcom. This is only one take.
Mm-hmm.
This is only one take. So we know the life. We know the story of life. It's been displayed and played out for us so many times, right? So we know how it's going to play out. So, like, what are we going to do with the time that we have been blessed with? What are we going to do with this time? What are we going to? And it's not a given. It's work,
Yes.
and that's beautiful, because work is great.
Mm-hmm.
Work helps us grow. We're here to get stronger. It's not supposed to be a walk in the park. It's always supposed to be a challenge. We want to
Mm-hmm.
consistently refine and define ourselves over and over again. That there's no plateau. We just keep
Mm-hmm.
keep evolving.
Love it.
Yeah.
You said a lot in there.
I said we going to have lunch and dinner.
Woo,
I mean,
you did.
I've been.
Okay. Let me pick which one I want to go back to, because you because you said a lot. Okay. So if we think about this, we're here this one time.
Yes.
It is a journey. ups and downs.
Yes.
We know our goals. Well, we would like to think we know our goals, or we have some dreams. And those dreams, once we can really have a clear thought and a clear vision, like you said, then we start taking action, and then we be consistent with it, so it will get us to that ultimate goal. But we are always starting over, because once we reach that goal, let's think about it, we got another one,
Yeah.
because we got to keep moving. So when you say, what is it? It is something, and it can be multiple things. You could be afraid. You could just, the fear of success, like we said. But how do we dig in? And it was that self awareness that you said,
Yes.
being completely self aware and know that you are doing that. So that's a whole different ball game right
Yeah.
there. So, how do we move when we are self aware and know that we are procrastinating? What would you suggest then?
So some things that helps me out, and again, it's like taking a shower. You just can't take one shower and be clean. It's a daily, by moment, by choice
Mm-hmm.
conversation with ourselves all the time. And for me, what's been helping lately is I just have a conversation with myself like, do I want to get this done?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want to get this done? How is it going to make me feel once I get this done? What time am I going to start working on this to get this done?
Mm-hmm.
When should I be completed once I start getting this done? And literally plan it like we're planning a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're literally planning a trip, because procrastination feels very good until it doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And it normally doesn't feel good when we're seeing somebody else accomplishing our same goal, maybe with the same, more, or even less talent, but with a heck of a work ethic that they're
Mm-hmm.
running circles around us. That's when procrastination doesn't feel good. When time is passing by and people are accomplishing things and we're still in the same spot, and we know we got all the tools. We know we have the tools, and we believe in ourselves. This is a whole different level of feeling. Again, being in
Yes.
awareness. I mean, being in not being aware is one thing, because you don't know what you
Mm-hmm.
don't know. But once you're becoming aware and you know that you can get stuff done, you have already accomplished so much already, and you know who you are. And these little things that we're talking about are tripping us up. That we're allowing them to
Mm-hmm.
trip us up. So we have to approach it. At least I have to approach it like I'm planning a trip. Like, hey, have that conversation and lay it out and do it now. Consistently say, do it now.
I like that. So you treat it like a business,
Absolute.
and you have to get it done no matter what, because you're right. The When we think about procrastination, the pain of not doing it when we know that we could have done it hurts more than, like you said, just not even knowing. Because if you don't know what you don't know,
You
there's
just
nothing
don't
you could
know.
do. But once you know and it's been pointed out to you, now that's a whole new level of accountability that you have to hold yourself to. And then you have to be willing, like you said, every single day. What am I going to do? When am I going to do it? What's my time frame on doing it? With still being clearly aware that things are going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to come up to stop us, but we have to continue to push forward.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say, in a sense, that we know what we need to do, let's say we want the promotion, someone else gets it. So now we have taken the anger that's within us and we're lashing out at that individual, making it seem like they're really not qualified. They were just handed the job. They didn't put in the work. They didn't put in the effort. Where all of that that's being said, like you said earlier, nothing to do with that other individual. That's every last thing that we would be feeling about ourselves
Mm-hmm.
that stopped us from moving forward. But we're on a cycle that we keep repeating the same exact thing. So that same behavior keeps happening and we're not moving anywhere. And when we look up, 20 years that went
Yeah. Yeah.
by.
Yes, they have.
Yes,
Yes, they have.
yes. And we still have our same dream.
Yeah. Same dream. Same dream.
And that dream is just a dream because there's no action that we put behind it to turn it into our reality because we are who we think we are. So if that thought is, I'm not going to be successful at it, then you don't attempt to do it.
Right.
If that thought is, I'm just not confident enough, we can even break down being confident. Let's think about that. If I feel like I'm not confident enough to apply for that position, confidence again is within, like insecurity. You're secure, that has to come within. So, am I competent enough and know that I have applied myself enough to take that step forward?
Mm.
To actually apply. Because if I don't feel confident, it's because I'm not confident within. I did not do what I needed to do to feel the competency of what I am moving towards.
Mm. Yeah, you didn't do the work.
You,
Yeah, you have to do the work. There is
absolutely.
no shortcuts. I don't care how talented we are or how talented I think I am. If I do not do the work, it will never get done.
100%
Never
true.
gets done. You got to work. You have to change the mindset to not look at work as a negative word. Work is a very positive word. It's actually a blessing to be able
Mm-hmm.
to work and create, you know. So we really want to just adopt the mindset and the behavior of work is play.
Mm-hmm.
Work is play.
And if you love what you do, I'm going to say this two separate ways. If you love what you do, then it doesn't feel like work.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because you're enjoying the moment, you're enjoying the journey, and you're learning so much. Not that work is easy, you just love what you do and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like work. Now, let's say someone has some type of job and they just don't like that job. Nothing wrong with that at all, but it's still a mindset thing because there is so much that you can learn and take from that job to go create what it is that you do love.
Absolutely.
And then you move that way. Now, the chances of people doing that, I don't slim to none, huh? Because we got all those other factors in there. Because think about it, you get to work and you'll hear people say, whoever their boss or manager is, or the company itself, I would run it differently. I wouldn't do it like that because that doesn't work. I could think of other better ways to do it. If you can do that, that shows you that you should have the confidence in yourself that you should step out and do what it is that you want to do. But we hide behind other people, other companies because of the fear again of believing in ourselves and trusting in ourselves to step out and attempt to do whatever it is that we want to do. Failure is always an option. But if we change our mindset, like you said, literally change our mindset, failure does not exist. When I look at myself and what I do, this podcast, being a life coach, failure is never on the table because failure does not exist in my world. It's what did I learn for that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out.
Hmm.
And then I move differently to make sure that part doesn't happen again.
Hmm.
If we look at you and what you do in your profession, how do you feel? Do you look at failure if you don't get that life insurance signed up, or how do you see it?
Well, good, great points. You know, and for me, it's just all about, to the best of my ability, rephrasing words that make me feel a certain way that are not
Mm-hmm.
positive. So, like the word failure, and you explained it clearly. Like the word failure, it's like also another positive word, and it's positive because my mindset behind it's like, okay, I learned another thing or another way, or maybe not or how not to do something, but I learned something, I added to it. you know
Mhm.
we we have to get into the mindset as much as possible that work is play. um I love to learn. These are
Mhm.
like mantras. And again, they're
Mhm.
like showers, because I can say all this right now and drive down the road and something can throw me off my balance. And
Mhm.
then that negative self-talk may start to creep in. So, we have to, I personally fill myself as much as possible with positive self-talk, and just um, changing the classification of a word in my mind to make it positive in some way. So failure is like, it's a positive word. It's like, okay, we learned a way of how to do something else different. Okay, let's keep going. When it becomes uh, truly detrimental to our goal and to our life is when we just lay in it. Once we lay in something and just be there, then that's just what it is.
Mhm.
It's all about getting ourselves back up. All about getting ourselves back up. Getting back on
Mhm.
our. Sometimes you got to just get up on your hands and crawl a little bit, and it's
Mhm.
okay. What I'm saying, as long as we're moving. The turtle still won the race somehow. What I'm saying,
Mhm.
because of his consistency.
Yes.
What I'm saying, he's being consistent. But I say this for all of us. Just be patient with ourselves, though. Be loving with ourselves. We have
Mhm.
already accomplished a lot. Just look at all the things that we have accomplished, in our own individual lives. We have already accomplished so much. We already demonstrated the behaviors that it takes to accomplish something.
Mhm.
So now it's just about the consistency and always having a goal. A goal is everything. We have to have a purpose, we have to have a direction, and really dig in why I want to accomplish this goal. Why how is
Mhm.
it going to make me feel? And so different, basically you're not wasting time. What I'm saying, you're not
Yes.
like going to school, getting a degree and whatever, and you're like, I really don't even like that. What I'm saying? You really want to,
Mhm.
we really want to just take the time to be like, okay, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? How is it going to make me feel as an overall person? What is it going to take to get to this goal? What are the small steps that it's going to take?
Mhm.
What are the big steps? Laying it out, having real conversations with yourself, like, am I going to be able to accomplish it? Am I going to be able to work myself? When you get
Mhm.
grown to a certain point at any age, because in reality, it's just a mind, an
Yes.
activity. So any age, but it's like, am I really going to hold myself accountable and see this through? It's
Mhm.
easy to start. It's very challenging to finish.
Yes.
Very challenging to finish something, all see it all the way through. And then with all of that, with all of those things, the most important thing is, do I have faith? Do I have faith?
Mhm.
Do I have faith? Faith is forever important, because we have to believe in things that we cannot see. We have to believe. We have to believe in our connection, and I had to learn many times that, you know, on this topic specifically, there is nobody against us.
Yes.
We're all shoulder to shoulder. We're all
Mhm.
shoulder to shoulder. There's no need
Mhm.
to think that somebody is against us. I, in my business alone, regardless of how great I am or think I am, I cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. I have to have collaborations.
Mhm.
I have to have collaboration. I have to want to know what somebody's vision is and dream is and be proud, because anytime we all accomplish something, we all should celebrate as much as possible, because that's
Mhm.
just another example of the manifestation power at its best. It's showing us that, hey, yes, you can accomplish this. Yes, I can accomplish this once I execute these things that we're talking about with consistency and planning. And I mean, yes, we can. So celebrate. If I get a new car or whatever, I don't say I got a new car. I say we got a new car, because
Mhm.
this is another example of the manifestation and work ethic and loving, being positive, and getting up when you don't want to get up, and even when you
Yes.
want to lay down, giving yourself that love for yourself, that it's okay to lay down,
Mhm.
just maybe not okay to stay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can lay down, but just don't stay down, but sometimes you have to stay down. Trust me, sometimes be like, forget it, don't even make eye contact with me, please. No eye contact. Don't even look at
Yeah.
me. No, just give me 2 days of nothing, please. And that's okay, because life is very challenging.
Mhm.
Life is very challenging. We are here to get better, to get stronger, to gain a greater connection with every person around us in the middle of a tsunami of emotions.
We still got to get better.
We still got to get better.
Mhm.
We're in a tsunami of emotions, and we still got to try to stay dry in this tsunami of emotions. And that's where our connection with everybody else, and our connection with ourselves, and our connection with God, and that's where all these things come into play. It's like, got to get better, because be better, and be honest. Be better and be honest. Like, hey, you know your faults, you know your habits, you know your things, okay,
Mhm.
and are they going taking you closer to your goal, or are they taking you away from your goal? But you just got to be honest with yourself, because man, at the end of the day, like we've been saying, this is a wrap. This is a one-stop shop. Life is just a one stop, and that's why, full circle, going back to just like, hey, we got to understand that we're going to pass, and that's a beautiful thing,
Mhm.
because nature has showed us that, man, it's come and grow, enjoy your time, enjoy each other, do your best to be genuine, do your best to connect with each other, be your best to create good memories, and
Mhm.
and do your best just to do your best. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just do your best to do your best. Whatever that is for you in the moment, just make that your best effort, but create something. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Create something, and learn from something, and just be flexible. I try my best to be like Bruce Lee say, be like water, right? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Just be flexible, be moldable, and be willing to change. I know all those said the same thing, but sometimes you got
Yeah.
to hear it. Those were bars. Those were
Yes.
absolutely
Look,
bars.
dropping
Those
jewels.
are those are
Yes.
absolutely bars. Let's acknowledge a few bars in there, but so I would just say all of that. But faith, faith, connection with self and understanding life. Those are the big things. Then everything else is so small, because your goal is so small to life.
Yes. And
You
I
know,
I like how you said collaborate and how you don't do it alone.
right?
That is key because we spend, and when I say we, I'm speaking our race for sure. We spend a lot of time thinking that we don't need help. If we let someone in our circle and help us, that they're going to take over or they're going to be better or something like that, where there's enough room for all of us, because your thought is not my thought, and if we collaborate, we have an amazing thought now that we have put together, because it takes all of us to get there. If I'm having this whole podcast, it wasn't just me that put this together. It was you, it was the individual that helps me, which is my husband, Roosevelt's been on the show several times. He puts it together. Our kids come in, help us put it together. We have to bounce off of each other. And when we're doing that and feeling that collaboration and that energy, if it is negative, and it's the negative thoughts that we have with ourselves, and we're trying to bounce off of that individual and they're having negative thoughts, we're not going to get anywhere. So now we're going to be down. And I like how you said that. You may have 2 days that you're down. We have to be intentional about everything that we do. And I like the way you said it, because you said, I know I'm down. Don't look at me.
Yeah,
That
no
means,
eye contact. Please, no eye contact.
yeah, so that means if I was to look at you when you were down, you're going to get up
Yeah,
because you already know what you shouldn't be down.
yeah, yeah. And you need a community. You need a community of
Yes.
people to help. Again, you cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. It takes a village to help each other. And it could be something as simple as a stranger just walking by you and smiling and saying, "How are you today?"
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a little hope that, hey, I'm still recognized. People still, and we're a team. We want to have a team mindset. Like, hey,
Yes.
a better house, a better neighborhood, a better community, a better city, a better state, a better country, a better world. So it's always just like, and it's all collaboration. It's all collaboration, and collaboration is also agreeing to disagree. That is a collaboration.
Yes.
Yeah, we collaborated that we disagree, but
Yes.
I still have love for whatever your thought process is. It's just, again, I mean, just being more like water as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you want to be able to flow, because build bridges. Because I've been to that place where you think you can do it all alone. I mean, you even think you do it better than God at different times. Like, okay, I got it, I
Yeah.
got it, I got it, I got it,
You
I got
got
it,
it.
I got it. You're like, oh, for real, you got it? Okay, well, go ahead with your bad self. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. And that's the, you come back crying and crawling, and you know what I'm saying. So I've been there, and just thank God for having your family. And your family is like your friends, your people that rock with you, just to rock with you,
Mm-hmm.
just to rock with you, nothing else. So, 'cause again, I couldn't do it without them.
Of it. And it's genuine. You need those genuine individuals, that community, that support system. And you know they're genuine when they don't see your vision, but they believe in you so much that they like, I got you.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need, I have you. And when you fall, because we all have those moments,
Yes,
they're there to pick you up. Like, hey, remember, no, you said this was your goal.
right.
Let's continue with that goal. And I like earlier when you said you can't be down for long. And I always use this with the girls when something doesn't go their way and they're down and out. You can sit with it for a second, so you can think about and reflect what you can get out of that, what you've learned from that. But we not gonna sit in it.
Right.
Think about it, because when you sit in it, then you don't move and it consumes you. So sit with it, take that time you need. Like you said, give yourself some grace. Give yourself that it's okay. And then you keep moving. But it's that I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace that turns into 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. And then you look up, a week then went by.
Yeah, depression. It doesn't take long for depression to settle in.
Not at all.
Just a couple of thoughts. A couple of thoughts will send you on depression lane.
Yes. And that mindset again.
Yeah.
I love how you use it, because that is my whole thing. I get people ask me all the time, how are you in the same mood? How are you always just that happy? Life cannot be that happy. Yes, it is, because
Yeah.
every moment I'm choosing. The world that's going on around me is not choosing what I feel within me.
Yeah.
So I am happy every moment. What do I have to feel bad about?
Yeah.
That is the key. And if we keep moving, when you said have a vision,
Mhm.
have a plan, take the steps, realize you're going to do it every day. And I like how you broke that down to the audience, because you guys may have picked it up, you may not, but you went in that routine and you repeat it every single day. And
Yeah.
throughout your day, I'm sure you're repeating it over and over, because that's what continues to keep you moving.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, just want to be really clear. Speaking from me, myself, is that you're going to get knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, right? We all been knocked down. I mean, so, but just to say that, hey, even by having the mindset, it doesn't stop. Having it, taking a shower one time doesn't mean that you're clean for your life. That's my
Yes.
favorite analogy when it comes to it, because it's just like every day is a mindset challenge to stay
Hmm.
consistent with that mindset. And some days I get beat by
Yes.
negative self talk. I'm just grateful to have that we all have the tools to be able to build ourselves out of it. Because again,
Hmm.
depression is only a couple of thoughts away, and sometimes it takes forever to get out of it. And sometimes you are in a delusion that you're not even in it, that you're not even in a depression and in a full blown depression.
Yes.
Been there. It's like, wow, I was depressed. Like, wow, I didn't even know I was still having a good time. I was doing all these things, but the inability to move when you know you need to move, it's a depression. It's
Yes.
a sickness almost. But it's a depression. Whatever we want to label it, right? But so if you're not constantly moving, we want to be checking for that data, like why, always
Why?
why. Why am I
Yes.
not moving? Why am I not moving? But through it all, give ourselves love,
Hmm.
because just because we fall in the mud, that doesn't mean that we have to stay dirty. We have to start to get clean, and we start to get clean by a clean mindset. So have love when we're going through our depressions and our
Hmm.
challenges and our moments of feeling insecure or feeling jealous or feeling whatever we're feeling. Have grace for ourselves, because
Yes.
we know that's not our heart. We know that's not
Hmm.
how we truly are and feel. We're just going through this emotional moment. So have love through it all and grace through it all, because we still need to get clean. And the fastest way to get clean is to start off by some positive self talk. Just start off by whatever brings you back to awareness. And
Hmm.
for me, it's just normally like, hey, time is really going by. Do I really have time to do whatever that doesn't have nothing to do with my goal, or feel this way? Do I have
Hmm.
that? Do I have enough time for that? And it's normally like, no, I got it. So my to-do list is to die for it. It's crazy.
I know. I like that though. I no. I really like that. And when you said you, I like the part when you break down to die for it. We got to keep going. If we step in mud and we get muddy, we got to wash ourselves off. Some people would say, how do I keep that mindset? How do I even get that mindset? And I always say it's a mindset shift, because you said it's going to happen. We all are going to experience something that can put us down. But what we do, this is one thing that I tell a lot of clients: get out of your head, because fear is just something that we create to say that, ooh, this may happen. So studies say, I think it was Cornell or Harvard did a study that 97% of the fear that we have never even happens.
Wow. That's
Yes.
crazy.
And
That's
the
crazy.
thing about this, the other 15% that's out there, 79% of it, something slightly happened and we handled it perfectly, where it was never an issue anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I say that to say, when we get there and we're all in our heads, if we can step out of being in our head and then say, what can I do to fix that? What is it that caused me to go into that depression? Again, being self aware, asking ourselves those questions that we do not know the answer to,
Mhm.
but it forces us to dig and become aware of what that actually is, so that we know how to handle it when it comes up again.
Mm. Yeah. Got to get that data. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you got to go through it, the gem of going through something is just to get the data. Like, how did we get here? Why did we get here? Because we
Hmm.
gonna need that. Right there is the gold of going through something that's maybe not something that we are failure, as we may call it. We want to
Hmm.
get that data to figure it out. Like, why did I go down that path? And try not to repeat it.
Yes. And we need the data in order to not repeat it. So let me say this: we need the data. And then we need to be crystal clear on what that data is saying.
Yes. Yes.
So we
Yes.
don't go through that again.
Gathering data and deciphering data is two different things. It's two different job roles.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, as I was thinking through our conversation, I have to say this: when I have an intuition, I try to say it because then I'm gonna get your feedback as well. I was just thinking back on the portion of success, or trying to say accomplish a promotion or start your own business, and how we put others down to get there. I've had experiences. You've probably had experiences, but our conversation today got me thinking back way when something happened to me, and I'll share with everyone. Where was my mindset at that time?
Mm.
So I'm thinking about years ago when I was in college, my last year of college, I was working on a TV show on a major network. Won't say what network. Had been working so much. I had put in all that time. Like you said, I started getting paid for the jobs that I was doing. Started out as an intern, worked my way on up. And there was a woman, minority. I had seen her so much over the past couple of years, as starting as an intern my sophomore year through my senior year. And I built up enough courage to go ask her, hey, not necessarily saying, can you be my mentor? But it was, hey, is there some advice that you can give me since I'm going to be graduating and I want to apply for this as a permanent full time job? What can you share with me to help me get to where you're at? She was so open when I originally approached her that I loved it, like that crabtree in a barrel. That's where I was nervous at. So my thought,
Mm.
and I'm thinking back to those years ago when I first approached her, happy, friendly, beautiful spirit. But then when I asked, what advice can you give me that could help me? Her words to me was nothing. This is a She was straight faced with it. Nothing. She said, this is a male dominant industry, and I'm not going to tell you anything that would allow you to come in and work your way up and take my job. And she walked off.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. We might have
Now,
to take a shot on that one. That might be a shot break. We got a lunch, we got dinner, we need a shot break. Man, that was serious. Man, nothing.
nothing.
So how did that make you feel at that moment? She just like crushed you.
Oh my gosh, JR. Yes. It crushed me.
Right.
Now, this was the thing that crushed me the most. I thought I was going to someone that looked like me and would give me the information to help me start taking those steps. So I felt comfortable. I'm going to just be honest. I felt comfortable going to her versus someone else.
Right.
She tore me down, did not help me, did not give me any advice. And I continued to see her, but as I continued to see her, she wouldn't speak. She turned up her nose. She acted like I did not exist.
Wow.
Yes, so it crushed me, but I said I couldn't stop there because I had a vision. My vision at that time was to be able to own my own television production company.
Nice.
That was my goal. And I was the person that was behind the scenes. Eventually, I wanted to executive director, work my way up, that type of thing. I never sat in front of the camera like what I'm doing now. So when she didn't help me, I said, well, pick yourself up, Tasha, and go ask the next person. I went and asked the next person. She didn't look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And she set me down and told me exactly what to do,
Mm-hmm.
step by step. She didn't feel intimidated because it was never about taking someone's job, because there's enough room and availability for all of us. But for someone that looked like me and she intentionally tried to destroy me, is what she did for sure.
Mm.
But the other individual didn't see it like that. She saw it as, this is a young lady, 21, 22. I have been seeing her for years work her way up in this. I'm going to give her what I can so she can move forward.
Mm.
So did it destroy me? It did, but it didn't stop me. That was the difference. Destroyed me,
Mm.
but it did not stop me.
That's good. I got a couple of, and I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that you persevered through that, because that's real. Two things about two questions I have. One is, how was your approach spiritually toward the first lady who rejected you? Like, when you see each other, knowing that she's looking her other way, nose stuck up. I'm at 21, I can imagine, but no, for real, you're for real.
Yes.
But like, but how was your energy towards her when you see her doing her thing naturally?
Back then, if I go back to my 21-year-old mind, you are correct. I felt some kind of way. I was offended, because it's like, how do you do that? How do you tear me down and not be willing to help? But what I did is I continued to watch her,
Mm,
and I continued to take notes, because since she wouldn't share, at least I could learn from what I saw her doing.
mm-hmm,
And I took that and just added that to all the knowledge to continue to present myself a certain way. So, how I may have seen her move, how I may have seen her in the back doing some of the work, setting up phone calls, scheduling different things, whatever it was that she was doing, I made a mental note of that. So, when I moved to the next person to present myself, I was able to say, I've experienced this that I learned from her.
mm,
So honestly, I can say I already had a deep drive,
mm-hmm,
but what she did was she opened up Pandora's box.
mm,
And the drive and the motivation got harder, it got stronger, and I was able to pull other individuals along.
mm-hmm,
So I my overflow was strong, because I was not going to stop. She showed me to never stop. That's what she taught me. No matter who tells me no, no matter who gets in my way,
mm-hmm.
pivot. And it was so strong that I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply for the Oprah Winfrey show. Did that and got the phone call, had the whole interview.
Nice. Give me a little
Yes,
bit of that. Give me a little bit of that. Boom.
yes,
There you go.
yes. And the one thing they asked me, are you willing, because I'm in Las Vegas, going between Vegas and California,
Mm,
are you willing to move to California, because this atmosphere, I'm sorry, move to Chicago, this atmosphere is so different. It's freezing cold here, and they told me to take a week to really think about it, to make sure that's something I wanted to do. I was so grateful that they did that, because I was able to talk to my husband. We really think about this, and the answer was no.
mm,
I didn't want to do that.
mm,
Here we are now in Arizona. I would not go back that way, but it gave me all the courage that I needed to keep going. Now, not saying that I didn't go home and cry about it. I did. I went straight to Roosevelt, and I was like, this is devastating. If it was hard for her, she know it's hard for me. Why would you do that?
mm-hmm.
But yes,
And then, and your audience will be like mad at me for not answering this question. So, what eventually happened to her career?
she making it happen. She's still there to this day.
Making it happen.
Absolutely.
And shout out to her.
Absolutely.
Shout out to her. So we
Mhm.
need to celebrate her success.
Yes.
And you still learn something from her. And you
Absolutely.
brought up something about color, about race,
Yes.
people that don't look like us. Um, Being an Arizona native, I always understood racism, obviously the way it is,
Mhm.
but my mindset, I never allowed it to detour me from working with everybody, and that's pretty much, for the most part, that's like our culture in Arizona. We're very multicultural here,
Yes. Yes.
and so I always would say, like, I can learn from everybody,
Mhm.
because it's the person who wants to help. It's that person who has that awareness. And I always, again, we always want to do our best to have love for everybody, even her doing what she did at that moment with you.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure she probably wouldn't do that same behavior today, I would imagine.
I would. Yes.
Because we have to always give each other grace, and we ought to always forgive, right?
Mhm.
Because at different moments, especially moments of not being aware, you're going to demonstrate some behavior that's not going to align with your higher self. And we
Yes.
need people to give us that patience and give us that grace to be able to say, hey, I forgive you and still love you genuinely. I get it. We're going to say things, do things that may not align, and we need to give each other that grace and space,
Mm-hmm.
consistently, intentionally doing something. That's a whole different story. You can
Yes.
love them from afar. Like, I
Yes.
love you for being a reflection of all of us, but right now I got to protect my boundaries right now. Always protect the boundaries. Side note.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, work with everybody. Again, collaboration. I've learned more from reading books from people from all walks of life, and
Mm-hmm.
reading quotations from all walks of life, because I figured out on my journey it's just really about the mindset. The mindset is like a computer program. So the more we can gather different types of mindsets, a way of looking at things,
Mm-hmm.
we're reprogramming our computer constantly. It's always updating and upgrading. So there you go.
Love it. Love it. Rewiring our mind.
Rewiring the mind. Yeah. I appreciate you saying the simple words so I can, I got 30 words to, you
No.
know, the flying to the moon and all. I got all these different things. Thank you for clarifying, simplifying that for me. Thank you. There you
That
go.
is okay. I
There you go.
try to think about it and make it simple and easy,
Yes.
but you said it perfectly. I
Yes.
just paraphrased it. That
I
was all I
appreciate
did.
that. God bless you. Yes.
All right. So, do you have any last words for us?
Well, I appreciate you and your audience and your family, just for creating this platform, you know, um, showing other people that yes, we can accomplish our goals. This was one of your goals, and
Mm-hmm.
we are in the moment of one of your goals. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So that is a celebration, a manifestation is real, work ethic is real. So I just want to thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome. I appreciate you showing up.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm put you on the spot. So, are you willing to come back to TK Conversations?
I mean, yeah, if we're gonna have this food that we've been talking about, we're gonna have that. It could be any conversation, but I will pull up. Yes,
We're going to do that. So, I'm going to hold you to it.
yes.
And what I'm going to do, something a little different, but I've been thinking about working it in. So, I'm going to start with you. You pick the topic.
Mm,
And I'm going to just flow because when we come out here, it's just all natural. And we're just having the conversations, those conversations that are uncomfortable, but they need to be had.
that's a good point. You know what? That's a great idea, because you being a life coach, somebody may can get a free on air session. Yeah.
JR.
Like, I got this real problem. Y'all excuse us. I got this real problem that's going
Yes, he said that, and he
on.
is correct because
Yes,
whatever information I provide is a tool to help wherever you are in life. I try to always share that. So definitely,
absolutely,
definitely.
absolutely. I'm game. Give me a little bit of that. I'm game.
Perfect.
I'm game.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this episode of TK Conversations. We will be back with the next one. Thank you.
Peace.